Well. Hello, folks. Welcome to another edition of Thrive Live with Steve Levitt. We are Rock Your Family Counseling Center in Colorado Springs. And every Thursday at 1:30 Mountain Standard Time, we do this little thing we call Thrive Live. It's a counseling forum. It's there for you guys to be able to join in and enjoy and and be a part of what we do here. It's kind of fun to converse with you about counseling issues. I'm a marriage and family counselor. I've been a counselor for 30 years, and we talk about different subjects that are relative to you, that may be helpful to you. We do it every Thursday from 1:30. Hang on one second. Oh, there we go. We do it every Thursday from 1:30 at 1:30 Mountain Standard Time. So thanks for joining in. Hope that you can enjoy our time together today. And today's topic is conversation, the art and value of conversation. What I'm hoping to help you with today is for you to see and identify the value of conversation. And I don't think it's ever been more relevant than what we're seeing today. Here's the setup, right? For the art and value of conversation. Here's the setup that has made me as a counselor be so aware of this issue and how this has broken us in so many ways. Hi, Courtney. Thanks for joining us today. TikTok, I'm glad you're here too. So join in if you want. It's the art and value of conversation. Look, how obvious is it in our world today, the need for conversation? We all grew up talking to each other in school, hanging out, shaking everybody's hands, giving hugs, going to church, hanging out with other people, relating and connecting with other people constantly. And then all of a sudden COVID hits, right? And whenever COVID hits, we all went to our caves. We just disappeared. We all went to our caves and huddled down. Now, even more so, almost a year later, this massive ice storm that's still going on hits and shuts us down even more. Can't go to the store, can't go do anything. And again, we huddle down. And what I'm finding is, because what I did was, as soon as COVID hit, I started an online everyday community. It's a Bible study that I do every morning at 6:30. I do it every morning at 6:30, and it's live. And people just grabbed onto it, and it exploded because all of a sudden now we can converse, we can talk, and I do it interactively, just like here. Hey, Reed, good to see you, brother. Glad you're joining in. Just like here, all of a sudden now, all these people are talking to each other. They're relating to one another. They're conversing, and they're having conversation. And all I get constantly is the input of, wow, it's so good to have fellowship. It's so good to talk to other people. It's so good to connect with other people. There is a value in conversation. Tell me, I'd love your input too. What is it that you see that's so valuable for you right now? We're not intended to live in a cave without relationships, without connection, without conversation. What does conversation bring to the table for you guys? What's your thoughts on that? What does conversation bring to the table for you guys? Well, I know one thing for sure. We as humans crave and desire to know people and to be known by people. To be known is one of the most valuable things you can do. I even emphasize this with a couple I was visiting with recently, where the wife just continued to look at the husband through the whole session. She'd look over. And I kept asking, why are you looking? Why are you looking? And what she's wanting is to know what he's thinking, know what he's feeling about whatever subject or topic we're talking about. And she's wanting verbal communication back that he is acknowledging that he knows her, that he's acknowledging her. To know and to be known, right? We crave to know and to be known among other people. That's why TikTok has 5 million followers, right? Because people want to be known. I want to put myself out there and let somebody see me. Let somebody experience what I'm experiencing. Let somebody feel what I'm feeling. Let somebody respond to what I'm putting out there. We crave to know and to be known. Even more so in marriages, right? In marriages, you want to know your spouse and you want your spouse to know you. That happens through conversation. That's our topic today. Conversation, the value of conversation. Now, what is the art of conversation? The problem is we all may acknowledge and go thumbs up. Yes. Courtney said everyone has a story to share and to help. Yes. So true. Reed, sharing how things make you feel is important. I need somebody to hear me and then to validate my feelings, to validate what I'm saying. I need somebody to give worth and value to what I'm thinking and feeling. I do. I need you to respond to me. So what is the art of conversation? The problem is some people don't know how to talk, especially dudes. All right. Especially dudes. We don't know how to talk. So what needs to happen in conversation? Number one rule is be a good question asker and actually show interest, right? Actually show interest in what the person is saying. It's not enough. Here is the problem with, say, like social media, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is everybody can be good at, hey, look at me and here's what I do and here's the crazy thing I did and here's the wisdom I have and everything else. But we don't open that up to actual questions. Tell me more about that, how you felt about that. We leave it just right there. The art of conversation includes dialogue. And so a one-way monologue doesn't work. A one-way blah, 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 or here, look at me doesn't work. It leaves you empty. The other huge problem with social media is, and boy, if you look at my TikTok and the video I did this morning, I have probably 150 really ugly comments back at me, right, about a subject that I brought up. And so people are really free to tell you all their yuck that they feel about you in return. And so now I have a dialogue going. Here's what I think. And the dialogue I get back is, you stink. You're horrible. You're an idiot. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's most of social media. And so now social media starts to crash people. That starts to crash your worth and your value and everything else. You need healthy, beautiful, good dialogue back and forth. You have, and that's called, by the way, conversation. Whenever I grew up, we had a phone. You take it off the wall. It's connected to the wall. You roll this little thing around and you dial a number and you talk to somebody and you have a conversation. You didn't have social media or devices, so you sat at a dinner table and you talked to one another. And our society was much healthier whenever it was that way. The art of conversation includes two people talking to each other, saying something and listening at a return conversation. We talk to each other. We don't do that anymore. We text a troll. We text a negative. We shoot back an abbreviation of what we're going to say. We have to get back to conversation. Talk to one another. I'll ask my kids about their relationships with their friends. And maybe if they have a problem with a friend or something like that, I'll say, well, just call them and talk to them about it. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm not going to call them. I don't call people. We don't talk. We text. That's how, or we Snapchat, or we Insta talk on Instagram or whatever. People don't talk anymore. We're losing the art of conversation. And it's so important to our soul. We have to talk to one another. Jesus would walk through with his disciples, talking to them and asking them questions. Jesus was the best question asker ever, right? We ask questions. So if you want to be a good conversationalist, ask good questions and care about the answer. Really listen to the answer. Find interest. Number two, good conversationalist, find interest in people. Be curious. Don't just want to tell them about you. Don't just want to share them about you. Don't just jump out there and be you. Me. I love myself. I have my picture on my shelf. Don't just be you, right? Actually be interested in other people. Show interest in what other people think. Show interest. Don't have an opinion always. Don't tell them what's wrong or what your opinion is. Listen. Just shut up and listen. Nod your head. Ask good questions and nod your head and show interest or even curiosity in their answer. One of the things that I think helps me in the counseling field so much is that I am insanely curious about people. I love to learn about people. I love to know why you think the way you think, why you do what you do, what that little body motion was, what that little affect was in your eyes. I'm insanely curious, and people tend to be drawn to that and feel known by me because I'm curious about them. Right? Be known and know people. That's the art of conversation. Here's another very important part of conversation and the value of conversation is that you get to exchange empathy, sympathy, and compassion, care and concern. You get to be cared for. I can mention on a live Bible study about that I got to go to the doctor and my hip's hurting and he's going to take an x-ray, and everybody wants to know how did it go? What happened? People are caring about me. People are interested in my well-being. There is something in our soul that wants to be cared for, that wants people to have concern about me. Whenever I laugh or cry with a client here in my office, whenever I'm laughing or crying or caring with somebody in my office, all of a sudden they feel cared for because empathy, sympathy, compassion, concern, and care has been exchanged. It's a beautiful thing and that can only happen through conversation, right? There's got to be conversation, the art of conversation. Reed says you can easily misinterpret emotions whenever it's typed or text. Boy, is that not ever true. Everybody give me a big amen. I can't tell you how many times I read something and then face to face, it was completely different. Man, is it ever a crisis in our country, this idea of text, right? We have to get back to conversation. I also will tell you, Courtney says exactly why God set out divine appointments up, why he set up divine appointments. Two people meeting together in a divine appointment about some subject, whatever it is, divine appointments. Yes. Emily says, amen. Yes, we got to get back to conversations. You've got to talk. And for those of you out there, you know who you are. Those of you out there who have social anxieties, this is a problem because it's scary to be known by somebody. They may think something negative about you. You may think they're going to think something negative about you. You've got to take the risk. You've got to put yourself out there and have conversations, right? Another thing that's important in the world of conversations is the fact that I matter. You can't really find out how much you matter until you talk to somebody and they express to you that you matter to them. You've got to have conversations and you need to matter to somebody. Do you matter to anybody? My brain always goes to this thought of these mountain men that used to live up in the mountains all winter with their donkey and and in a cabin by themselves for, once or twice a year, they go down to the town to get goods and supplies or whatever. How did they survive? They didn't matter to anybody. They could die and nobody would know it. Next guy would just be happy to have a cabin and throw your bones out in the snow. That person doesn't matter. The worst thing I can think of in my life is to not matter to anybody. I often think of this when I see a homeless person alone. Does anybody even know they're alive? Does anybody care? That person has no one that cares about them. We need to matter. That person that's in the nursing home, that person, that relative of yours that's in, they're there. I'm sure they're thinking, does anybody even care that I'm here? We need to matter to somebody. We have to matter. And the way you can express and can communicate that someone matters to you is to communicate with them, have conversation. Today is my mama's 74th birthday, right? And so I had all the people on my Bible study I do every morning. I bet she got 100 texts today. Happy birthday. I gave them their number. I gave everybody her number. And they live, my mom and her husband live a pretty isolated life off away from everybody else. That's probably more text than she's had in the previous 364 days. I'm certain my mama feels like she matters today, right? Because all these people message her and text her and tell her that she matters. I hope it makes her day. I hope it blesses her greatly. We all need to matter. Lastly, I'll say this. If you're struggling with communication or how to communicate or how to have conversation, try to turn on the part of your brain that becomes curious. Try to be interested in other people. You want great conversation, then be interested in other people. Then once you're interested, care about that person. Actually care about them. You want to bless somebody, you want to make somebody's day, then care about them. Show that they matter, express interest in their world and in their life, and then care about them. You will see them bloom inside. All of this can't happen through social media. All of this can't happen in our cave, in our COVID cave. All of this can't happen in our Arctic winter storm cave. Reach out to somebody today. And more than that, you may be great at reaching out, but you may not be good at receiving somebody reaching out to you. That may be vulnerable and scary. Let me encourage you. Let somebody know you today. I want you all to choose to be vulnerable with somebody today. Share with somebody a part of you today. Let somebody know about you that you trust and that you can care about. Let yourself be known by somebody today. That's how it goes, folks. All right. Art of conversation, the value of conversation. There you go. I just gave it to you. I hope it's been helpful to you. Any other questions or comments right quick? Hippie says, thank you so very much for the content. Prayers to you and yours. Thank you, Hippie. Whoever you are, I love that. That's Hippie, whoever that is. Hippie, you're welcome. I hope it's been a blessing to you too. Anybody else? Questions or comments? I'll take just a second and interact with anybody else. If you have another question or comment, anybody on TikTok? Don't see really anything else. Becky and Emily were talking. Yes, we are on Facebook. My husband talks on the phone for hours and can't talk to me for 10 minutes. That's so the way dudes work. So true. Scully, you're welcome. Skullkeeper. That's who you are. You're welcome, Skullkeeper. All right, we're done. You guys keep on keeping on. We will see you back here every Thursday. We also do a Wednesday morning Bible study every Wednesday morning at 7:30 here on Rock Your Family. If you have questions or you need some counseling, rockyourfamily.org is our counseling practice here. Rockyourfamily.org Remember that, rockyourfamily.org. You can go on the website there, find us. We do telehealth counseling all over the country. We do intensives. You can come in, your marriage or your family come in for 5, 7, 10 days at a time. We'll work with you. We're here to help. So check us out, rockyourfamily.org. And COVID cave is so true, but has made me realize my weakness even more. I need to work on. Yeah, Becky, so true. Hannah says, struggling with this today as I try to talk about my son's kidney disease. Thank you for this today. Yes, do it. Be known. Let yourself be known. Risk it. Just risk it. That's all I can say. It's hard to believe, Reed. People don't talk. Yeah, Reed, I know you're a talker, dude, and I am too. But some people just don't. They're afraid to ask, and they're afraid to let anybody know them. Know and be known, and make the world a better place. All right, we're out. Keep on keeping on. We'll see you guys back here next Thursday again.